We knew Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. Two of them being Messi and Ronaldo.
When the latest global athlete marketability rankings dropped, marketing executives worldwide did a double take, but then had a huge smile on their face. There, sitting at number 4, ahead of Curry, Messi, and Ronaldo, was Caitlin Clark. Not in women's basketball, not in American sports, in the entire world.
But for Caitlin Clark, on a worldwide marketability list for athletes, to be ahead of both Messi and Ronaldo is quite impressive.
This isn't just another achievement to add to Clark's growing list of record-breaking achievements. It's a paradigm shift in global sports culture. Only Simone Biles, Vinicius Jr., and LeBron James rank higher. But what does this unprecedented ranking really mean for her and for the future of women's basketball? And how did Clark manage to outrank two of soccer's most iconic figures, basketball's most popular babyface star in the past decade, and not to mention all the other famous active athletes in the world? Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
I mean, she's ahead of Steph Curry. Steph Curry is behind her.
To understand Clark's unprecedented rise, we need to look at how other generational talents transformed their sports into global phenomena. Take Simone Biles, who single-handedly revolutionized gymnastics. Her electrifying performance at the 2016 Rio Olympics, where she claimed 4 gold medals, didn't just captivate audiences, it inspired an entire generation. Youth gymnastics participation skyrocketed by 50% in just 2 years following her Olympic triumph, with a staggering 60% increase among girls aged 6 to 18. But before Biles, there was Michael Jordan, who wrote the blueprint for athlete marketing in the 1980s and 90s. When Nike launched the Air Jordan line, it wasn't just about selling shoes, it was about selling an icon. The brand generated an astounding $3 billion in its first year alone, proving that individual athletes could transcend their sport and become cultural phenomena. Jordan's impact reached far beyond the basketball court, creating a global sneaker culture that continues to influence fashion and sports marketing today.
This has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and score at the buzzer. Michael Jordan. Line looking. Here's Clark. She fires. And it goes. She hit it.
Serena Williams demonstrated similar transformative power in tennis, demolishing both records and barriers. During her remarkable run from 2002 to 2017, she didn't just win 23 Grand Slam singles titles, she dramatically expanded tennis's audience. Women's tennis viewership surged 30% during major tournaments, while Williams herself commanded over $29 million in endorsements by 2019, redefining what was possible for female athletes in terms of market value and influence. These athletes share a common thread. They didn't just excel at their sport, they fundamentally changed who watched it and who played it. Tennis participation jumped double digits in the US during Williams' dominant years. They brought new audiences, new energy, and new money to their respective sports, creating lasting legacies that extended far beyond competition. Now Clark is walking a similar path, but at an even more accelerated pace. Like Jordan before her, she's already achieved something unprecedented in the athlete-brand partnership space. Her multi-year deal with Wilson, including her own signature basketball collection, marks the first time since Jordan that an athlete has reached this milestone. But there's something different about Clark. Despite her soaring popularity, she maintains a grounded and humble attitude that resonates with fans and brands alike.
Caitlin's light shines, it shines on all of you. And I try to remind our team of that all the time. Yeah, we're gonna enjoy that light and it helps all of us.
This combination of record-breaking performance and authentic personality hasn't just put her in elite company, it's helping her outpace even these legendary figures in key metrics. While Jordan took years to build his global brand, and Williams gradually expanded her influence over decades, Clark has exploded onto the world stage, achieving in months what took others years to accomplish. The data shows Clark isn't just following in the footsteps of these sports icons, she's blazing her own trail at unprecedented speed. The metrics behind her number 4 global ranking reveal something even more remarkable about her impact on basketball and sports culture as a whole. But to truly understand how she surpassed global icons like Curry, Messi, and Ronaldo, we need to break down the numbers that have marketing executives worldwide taking notice. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
But I'd only imagine, like the Fever, Caitlin Clark is going to rise on that list when the Nikes drop, when she gets into the second season, as she continues to entrench herself into American sports and then therefore, expanding internationally because she has fans across the world.
When Wilson Sporting Goods began crunching the numbers on Clark's market impact, they discovered something unprecedented. Engagement rates that doubled, then tripled their projections. Not since Michael Jordan had they seen metrics quite like these, but even Jordan's early numbers pale in comparison to what Clark achieved in just her first year. The centerpiece of Clark's market dominance is her historic $28 million 8-year Nike endorsement portfolio, a figure that shatters previous benchmarks for women's basketball players. You heard that right. She's still signed with Nike. Let's not believe all those rumors flying around that there's a bidding between them and Adidas. That's been fact-checked and simply not true. This level of attention isn't just about sponsorship deals. It's a statement about her unique position in sports culture. The Wilson partnership in particular places her in rarefied air as only the second athlete after Michael Jordan to secure a signature basketball collection with the iconic brand. And whenever the signature collections drop, sold out in minutes.
At the start of this year's WNBA season, it was announced that Caitlin Clark signed a massive endorsement deal with Nike. This deal was for 8 years, $28 million with a signature sneaker included.
But raw dollar figures tell only part of the story. Clark's social media presence has become a phenomenon unto itself, generating engagement rates that surpass even those of established global icons. While Messi and Ronaldo built their digital empires over decades, Clark's meteoric rise has seen her social metrics outperform both soccer legends in key categories like engagement rate, share velocity, and brand sentiment. The impact extends far beyond social media metrics. WNBA viewership numbers during Clark's games tell a compelling story of her draw power. Arena capacities that once struggled to reach 60% are now consistently selling out, with scalpers commanding premium prices for games featuring the Iowa and Indiana sensation. This surge in demand isn't limited to home games. Road venues are reporting record-breaking attendance whenever Clark's name appears on the marquee, with some having to move to bigger arenas whenever the Fever are in town.
I came to see Caitlin Clark tonight.
Oh, got to watch number 22.
I've been watching Caitlin for a couple of years, and since then I've dreamed about coming to a game.
These numbers become even more impressive when compared to historical WNBA marketing metrics. Clark moved the needle. Her impact is unprecedented in both scale and speed. Her name, image, and likeness, or NIL valuation of $3.4 million as a college athlete, was just a preview of her professional marketing potential, setting new benchmarks for what's possible in women's basketball. What truly sets Clark apart, and ultimately earned her that number 4 global ranking, is the comprehensive nature of her market dominance. It's not just about social media followers or endorsement dollars. It's about the complete package. Her ability to drive television ratings, merchandise sales, and ticket revenue while maintaining authenticity in her brand partnerships has created a new model for athlete marketability. This transformative impact raises an intriguing question. How is Clark leveraging this unprecedented influence to shape the future of women's basketball? The answer lies in her strategic approach to platform building and community engagement, where the numbers tell an even more compelling story about her vision for the sport's future.
For Caitlin's birthday, she got us a gift. I really like the thick shoelaces.
Beyond the spreadsheets and social metrics lies a more profound measure of Clark's influence. In small towns and cities across America, young girls are picking up basketballs in record numbers, while community organizations are experiencing what locals call the Clark effect, a surge in engagement that's reshaping how Americans view women's sports. This cultural shift became visibly apparent when County Line Orchard in Hobart, Indiana, transformed their annual corn maze into a striking tribute to Clark. The sprawling agricultural artwork didn't just celebrate a basketball player. It symbolized how deeply she had resonated with mainstream America, transcending the traditional boundaries of sports entertainment.
Caitlin Clark has signed ultrasounds, rode in an Indy car, but this may be the corniest thing yet. An orchard in Indiana was looking for a way to honor women's sports in their latest corn maze design. So who better to design their corn maze after than somebody who's been changing the game? The orchard took to Instagram to reveal the design of, you guessed it, Caitlin Clark.
What makes Clark's impact particularly noteworthy is her strategic approach to platform building. Rather than simply accumulating endorsements, she's carefully selecting partnerships that align with her values and vision for growing women's basketball. These aren't just business decisions. They're calculated moves to elevate the entire sport, creating opportunities for future generations of players. Her commitment to community impact stands out in initiatives like her partnership with the Coralville Food Pantry, where she helped raise over $75,000. This hands-on involvement in local communities demonstrates how Clark views her platform, not as a pedestal for personal gain, but as a tool for creating meaningful change.
I've been doing this since I've been in middle school. When I lived back in Des Moines, I always served at the local food pantry, homeless shelter, and I just think it's a good way to give back. I don't think people realize food insecurity is such a big problem in our world.
Despite her soaring popularity and global recognition, Clark maintains an approachability that resonates with fans and aspiring players alike. She's frequently seen engaging with young fans after games, signing autographs and sharing encouraging words with aspiring players. This down-to-earth attitude, combined with her exceptional skill, creates a powerful role model effect that's driving increased participation at all levels of women's basketball. The Caitlin Clark effect has transformed WNBA viewership and attendance patterns in unprecedented ways. Beyond just filling arenas, she's creating a new category of basketball fan, one who might never have considered attending a women's basketball game before. This expansion of the fan base represents a fundamental shift in how women's basketball is perceived and consumed by the general public.
Now, the Hawkeye women aren't just bringing in a big boost to television views, they're also having a big impact on local businesses. From bars to restaurants, everybody wants to get out to watch the Hawkeyes hit the hardwood.
We're getting more and more people, and it's getting bigger, it's getting louder, and it's a very fun environment to be in.
Perhaps most significantly, Clark's influence extends to the next generation of players who are reimagining their own potential in the sport. Young athletes aren't just mimicking her signature moves on the court. They're absorbing her approach to leadership, her work ethic, and her commitment to growing the game. This psychological impact might prove even more valuable than the statistical measures of her success. The transformation of women's basketball continues to accelerate, but what's happening in Indianapolis defies even the most optimistic projections. The Fever's meteoric rise in 2024 mirrors another revolutionary athlete's impact, one who similarly transformed her sport from niche interest to global phenomenon.
It had to be. I mean, she's a big star and everybody turning out for her in record numbers, but to spend time like this, I think, is very special.
Since Clark's selection as the #1 pick, the Fever have experienced an unprecedented surge in market value, shattering previous assumptions about WNBA franchise economics. This isn't just about filling seats. It's about fundamentally restructuring what a women's basketball franchise can become in the modern sports landscape. The partnership between Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull has analysts particularly excited about the Fever's competitive future. Their complementary playing styles create a dynamic that extends beyond individual achievements, positioning Indiana as a legitimate playoff contender. This on-court chemistry translates directly to marketability, with the Fab Four already becoming one of the most watched teams in women's basketball.
And I want to personally thank Caitlin Clark for lifting up our sport. She carried a heavy load for our sport.
The parallel between Clark's impact and Simone Biles' transformation of gymnastics becomes clearer with each passing week. Just as Biles turned gymnastics into must-watch entertainment and drove unprecedented participation rates, Clark is elevating women's basketball through a combination of athletic excellence and magnetic personality. Looking ahead, the Fever's trajectory suggests a broader transformation within the WNBA. Performance predictions indicate that Indiana isn't just building for future success, they're positioning themselves as immediate championship contenders. This rapid ascension challenges traditional timeline expectations for rebuilding franchises, setting new standards for how quickly a team can transform its competitive and commercial fortunes. The ripple effects of Clark's presence extend far beyond Indiana's borders. Her ability to drive viewership and engagement creates new possibilities for league-wide growth, suggesting that the WNBA stands at the threshold of a new era. The question isn't whether Clark will change the game, it's how far-reaching those changes will become.
Caitlin Clark is a superstar, not a female superstar. She is a superstar.
We were coming to see Caitlin Clark play.
She moves the needle. The WNBA has been looking for someone who moves the needle.
As the Fever prepare for their most anticipated season in franchise history in 2025, There's a growing sense that this represents more than just one team's renaissance. It's becoming a blueprint for how women's professional sports can capture mainstream attention and build sustainable commercial success. Yet amid this transformation, important questions about league infrastructure, player safety, and officiating standards demand attention. As we've traced Clark's meteoric rise from college sensation to global sports icon, one thing becomes crystal clear. Her impact extends far beyond personal achievements, ranking fourth in global athlete marketability, ahead of soccer legends like Messi and Ronaldo, as well as basketball icon Steph Curry, signals a seismic shift in how women's sports are valued and consumed worldwide. Clark's $28 million Nike deal and groundbreaking Wilson partnership aren't just personal milestones, they're benchmarks that reset expectations for every female athlete who follows. But with this unprecedented growth comes responsibility. The WNBA must evolve to match this new era, addressing crucial issues like player safety and officiating standards to ensure the league's infrastructure can support its expanding influence. As Clark and the Fever prepare to write their next chapter, they carry the hopes of a transformed sports landscape. The revolution in women's basketball isn't just coming, it's already here, demanding changes that will protect and nurture this hard-won progress for generations to come. Which changes in the WNBA are the most critical for you? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.